most amazing artists. I'm really excited to talk to you guys today and work with a three-dimensional form. So I'm going to explain what that is. First of all, there are 7 elements of art. Those are the things that artists use when they create artwork. Those 7 elements are line, shape, color, texture, space, value, and form. So form is something that is three-dimensional and encloses volume. So I'm going to explain the difference to you between two-dimensional and three-dimensional. Alright, so here I have a two-dimensional rectangle and a three-dimensional, we call this a cylinder. So this is considered two-dimensional because it's flat, like a piece of paper. It is something called height, but it also has something called width. So height is how tall something is, and width is how wide something is. The difference between the two-dimensional, or also known as 2D, and three-dimensional is the fact that three-dimensional also has something called depth, the thickness. You can move around it. So this too has height and it has width, but it also has the depth or the thickness. It's fat, not flat like this. So the form that we're going to create today are these adorable little aliens in spaceships. So these will be our three-dimensional form that we're going to make for our art theme of art that's out of this world. How cute are these? And these materials can be found in your home for the most part. A water bottle that we're going to cut, some toothpicks. I use skewer sticks, I had those, and a little bit of paint and some construction paper. So let's get started. So the materials you're going to need today are a water bottle, a pair of scissors, a bottle of glue, some skewer sticks, toothpicks, or twigs, whatever you have, some markers, crayons would work as well, colored construction paper, if you don't have that, white that you color will be fine, and some paint. I'm using a metallic silver, a gray would be fine, or whatever color you really want to use for paint also. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this label off of the water bottle. Now I'm going to cut this bottle. I'm going to cut the top off, and you may need an adult to do this if you're very young. I'm going to just do it towards the top. I like to, where those grooves are, I usually cut it from like 3 or 4 grooves down. So I kind of start a snip and then stick the scissors in and cut all the way. And then if it's not laying straight or sitting up straight, you can trim it at the bottom. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to take a piece of colored paper, or white if you don't have color, and I'm making like the part of the ship that sticks out. It gives it that kind of Saturn type planet look. So I set the water bottle on. I'm going to trace it first because this is going to be fitting on the outside of the spaceship. So I trace it around, and then I'm going to outline and make a bigger circle around that. And I'm just going to do this by lightly feather sketching around. So I could erase if I need to, if I was using a pencil. And regardless, if you cut this out, you don't need to erase because you can just flip it to the other side. Now I'm going to cut around the outside part of the circle first. And now what I'm going to do is cut the center out. Now I like to take the paper and I'll fold it a little bit, make a snip in the middle, and then poke my scissors through and cut that circle right in the inside. Now you have something that looks like maybe like a donut shape or like a bagel shape or something. And that's how it fits onto the spaceship, just so you can see how that works. Okay, so for now we're going to take that off and do the next step. So what I'm doing now is taking my silver paint, my metallic, and I'm going to paint the cap on the top, and then I'm going to paint a little bit of the bottom of the spaceship as well. So I just paint around. Now once I finish that, see where I'm holding my water bottle? I don't want to hold it on the cap because it's wet right now, unless you let that dry. I'm now painting the bottom, like the last couple grooved areas of the water bottle. I'm going to paint it from the outside first, and then I'm going to paint it on the inside. Now I'm using an acrylic craft paint. This could scrape off potentially, so that's why I'm also going to paint the inside of the bottom part of the water bottle. But tempera paint probably won't stick to this plastic, just so that you know. But to kind of go against that, if all you have is tempera paint, you could paint those areas first, and then when they dry, take some Elmer's glue, mix it with water, and then brush over the paint, and that will probably seal a little bit better. Colored markers will also, like a Sharpie marker would also color over this plastic and it wouldn't wipe off. But they have to be Sharpie or permanent markers. They can't be watercolor. And once I finish painting the inside and outside the bottom, I'm going to set that aside and grab my skewer sticks, toothpicks, whatever you have. Now, originally I had planned to just do 2, but you're actually going to need 4 pieces. And we're going to make them a little smaller than that as well. But I'm going to break them or trim them for now. You're going to want an adult if you're young to do this part or to help you with this. A lot of times, these are thick, so I had to cut them a little bit first. But if it's toothpicks, you just need to snap them in half or have someone help you with that. Now I'm just going to roll them right in the silver paint. So roll them all the way in there. So I'll do that for all 4 pieces, even though you only see the 2 right here. Roll them in and then set them aside to dry as well. Now I'm going to take my ring for the ship and start to add details on that. I'm going to take a oil pastel, but you can use crayon as well, and make some little dots around it to represent lights on the spaceship. Now what I'm doing is tracing the center part of my ring on another color sheet of paper. This is going to be my alien. I want to make sure I don't make it too big. But you can also do this on white paper and color your alien in if you don't have the color. Now I'm making a circle shape for my alien. And then I will put 2 rectangles on top for like basically the sockets of the eyes here. And then 2 circles, 1 circle on each rectangle for the eyes. And a circle inside that. Of course, you can make your alien any way you want. I'm just showing you another way. Now I'm going to make a cartoon mouth, straight line with the curve underneath. Make cute little smile lines. And then a tongue. 1 little curved line and then another. Now I'm going to create the arms and the leg. So I'm doing the 2 vertical lines on each side and then 3 little jumping lines or 3 little circles for fingers. You could also just make it 1, or hands. You can make it just 1 if you want, and then 2 more of those rectangular shapes and just an oval at the bottom for feet. And now I'm going to color some added for detail. So I'm doing the white around the eyes. I'm going to take my marker and trace like the mouth, color the inside of the mouth and the eyeballs. And then the other things I'm going to color, like my tongue, maybe I want to add spots to my alien, whatever you like to do. But I'm going to leave the base of it pink because I used pink colored paper, so I don't want to color the whole thing in. If that's the case, then you just want to use white paper. Now I'm going to cut that cute little alien right out. Don't leave the circle around it, cut all the way in. Now what I'm doing is I took those sticks when they dried, or toothpicks, and I glued them on the bottom. So 2 on each side so that the spaceship will stand on the sticks. And I did cut them down quite a bit. You don't want it to stand too tall. Now I used hot glue, but you could use Elmer's glue. You're just gonna want to tape the sticks down until they dry, otherwise they don't stand. I'm gonna be putting some glue on the back of my alien to glue it into the inside of my water bottle top. So to do that, I'm gonna take a piece of the pink paper that I used for my alien and cut a little strip, a very small strip out of it. And then I'm gonna do an accordion fold, which is fold forwards and fold backwards. This is what's gonna attach the alien to the inside of the water bottle. I'm gonna cut it down pretty small too. So I'm gluing my alien to one end of the pink strip. Now I take it in the inside of the bottle and stick that end of the strip in the very inside. Now I take that blue ring and I'm going to fit it on the top of the bottle so it goes around like that. There you have it, a cute little alien spaceship. Just using a water bottle and some paint and paper. Pretty fun little sculpture for your table.